Welcome back to episode 3 of the Snowball Effect. I'm here with Jeff Clayton. We made it a thing now. We're going to be wearing Social Snowball merch every single time we do this. So if you want to be a guest, you will be getting free merch and a laptop sticker. Jeff is the founder of Repl and Droplet, a dropshipping fulfillment agency and an email marketing agency. He's also an e-commerce legend. He's done some big numbers. He's done some awesome things. We're super excited to have you on here. Welcome.
Yeah, no, it's great being on. Before you filmed this, I know you reached out to the smartest entrepreneur you knew. He said no, and then you reached out to the funniest entrepreneur you knew, and he said no, and then the most attractive one, and then finally, after being asked 3 times, I caved in.
You had that one prepared. I like that. So honestly, me and you just met super recently. So I'm asking these questions obviously for the audience, but I legitimately don't know how did you get into e-commerce? How did you get into online business in general? And what are you working on now? I legitimately, we have never even had that conversation.
Okay, so long story short, I was on a trip freshman year in college.
Okay. How old are you now?
To Montana. 22.
Okay.
22. So this was somewhat recently. And we're on this insane vacation. And one of the guys there, I was like, hey, what do you do? And he's just like, oh, e-commerce. And he was a friend of a friend, so we were all there together. And I was like, oh, okay, what's that? And he's like, oh, I started drop shipping, all this stuff. I've heard of it, you get ads on YouTube and whatnot. And he showed me his Facebook ad account. And I remember it had 80,000 spent for 1.8 million in purchases for the past 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, wow, that's $1.8 million. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, you know what, I'll teach you. And then he literally just started teaching me. And the first thing he made me learn before Shopify and Facebook ads was eBay. He's like, you got to start at the bottom. So I started selling on eBay out of my freshman dorm room, drop shipping. And when I say the most manual drop shipping on earth, I mean it. So on eBay, it's all keywords.
Okay.
So I found that it's really competitive to go for anything with high search volume because there's a bunch of sellers on it.
Makes sense.
So I started hitting on misspellings of words. And
really?
The first thing that really hit was, if you went to school in the United States, you know what a TI-84 is.
The calculator, yeah.
So it looks like T184. And on eBay, there was a ton of search results for T184, but nothing really coming up.
No way.
So I listed it with an
and you would
$80,
put in the title
T184. Everything was T184.
Interesting.
And then put an $80 markup on it. And I woke up the next day with I think 6 sales, and I was like, I'm rich. I'm gonna be rich.
That's sick. That's genius.
And I was buying it directly from the Texas Instruments website.
Why were people spending $80 more on eBay?
Address? They just weren't price checking.
Okay,
they looked up T184. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is nuts.
That's
2 days later, PayPal account eBay banned.
Oh,
for
really?
misrepresenting a product.
Okay.
So it was very short-lived, and then after that, started in Facebook ads, and I had some wonderful family friends back home who own businesses, and they're just like, hey, if you want to learn Facebook ads, here's a credit card, just try to bring some sales to us. So it was very stress-free, and that's honestly one of the things I'm most thankful for, because
that's huge.
The ability to just learn Facebook ads and burning a decent amount of money is
How much do you think you burned before you got the hang of it?
It was a few $1,000s for sure.
Yeah.
A few thousand for sure.
I was worried you were going to say a few $100,000.
Within a week. Within a week, a few thousand. So it was
okay. So you were spending.
we gotta get this rolling.
Were sales coming in?
Very, very, very slowly. Okay. And then I actually started to see way more results with lead gen for a friend's car dealership, because my friends a bunch of family friends own businesses. So I was okay, let me try this.
Right.
And the first thing that I ran ads for was for a Mini Cooper, and I ran ads to a Bay Area Mini Cooper group and a few others, pretty highly targeted.
They got
So it was for the dealership, and we were running it, and I was running ads to different groups, different targeting for Mini Cooper fans, and they got 8 phone calls in the first hour or so with $14 spent. It was ridiculous.
Okay.
It was nuts. So then after that, it's okay, Shopify. Went through my sophomore year still learning as much as I could about Facebook ads, still working on stuff here and there, learning about Shopify. Launched a few Shopify stores that and then finally had one that that did well.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything crazy. It was my roommate and I, and we did roughly like 2.8 million in the first 7 or 8 months.
I would say that's crazy.
I mean, it was it was definitely
that's life changing.
It was really cool.
That's
life changing.
yeah,
for
definitely
sure.
life changing.
And honestly, I'm more thankful about like everything I learned during that process.
Totally understand.
I wasn't gonna be in dropshipping forever. Like I knew
Totally
that.
understand.
Like,
I always call it a stepping stone.
So I grew up in Silicon Valley, right? Like my whole family's in tech. Everyone's in tech. Everyone's startup, venture, all that stuff. So it was like, okay, so I know where I want to be in like the startup and venture world.
Okay.
I just need to do a few things and then I'll get there because I'm not going the Harvard route, to get there or anything like that. So I was like, okay, I need to do some stuff, build my own shit, do well with it, and then I'll break into venture eventually. So
your end goal is to get into either venture or tech.
Yeah. So right now I currently have 2 service-based agencies, and we are, we're not really we're not doing anything crazy innovative at all. Like we're just providing a better service than what else is out there, and it goes like that.
So you want to talk about what those 2 agencies are?
Yeah. So Droplet, it used to be Drop House. We're going through a rebrand right now. We basically just source and do custom manufacturing for e-commerce brands, and then we added the fulfillment arm, which is the drop shipping arm, in March of 2020, I believe, and then that sort of started growing faster than the custom product side.
Okay.
So my partner Jason and I have been doing that now for a little over a year. And one thing I can tell you is logistics is stressful. There's many moving pieces. Like there's so many moving pieces. And then on the email side, Repl, one thing there was I was running my own e-commerce store at the time, like the one that we did well on. And the advice I got from like a friend who was doing a lot better than me was like, hey, you need email marketing. And I was like, no one checks their emails, bro. Like we don't need that.
Right.
And he's like, let me just set up like a few basic flows for you and like let me show you how to do it. So he did, and then next thing you know, like the first weeks, we were doing like 340K a month then.
Okay, wow.
And I look and I was just like, that's a lot of money coming from emails. It could be better. And so I just got obsessed with emails. And so I was just like doing emails all the time, trying to get better at it. I finally got good at it. And from there I was like, okay, email marketing works. One of the things I hated though was I talked to a few agencies, and I wouldn't say it's not a scam, but I mean like there's like a $5K up front, $4K retainer, minimum lock-in for like 5 months, plus a % of revenue.
Right,
I was like, do you guys just want the whole business?
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
Okay.
So it didn't really make sense to me. So
is that your big like value prop? You guys like don't take retainers, or what?
People thought I was crazy when we were starting this, and a lot of people thought that it wouldn't work at all because people aren't going to value it. So I built like a pretty solid team. We launched about 6-7 months ago. 0 retainer, 0 upfront, 10-day cancellation policy. So you're locked in for 10 days. That's it. We just take a % of revenue, and it's very simple. If you're over 100K a month, it's 10%. If you're under 100K a month, it's 15%.
Okay, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's literally that's it.
Very straightforward.
We've spent 0 on ads for both companies, so everything's word of mouth.
Nice.
The email agency has been honestly shocked my mind. I'm not going to say I didn't have confidence in my team to do well, but right now we're averaging 35% of all of our clients' revenue.
That's really good.
Our largest client, who's planning to IPO in a few months, we brought in 48.5% of their revenue through email.
Wow.
They came on
e-commerce
at, I think, 6%.
Wow.
We just onboarded a brand.
So you essentially doubled his revenue.
Yeah.
From emails.
From email on the e-commerce side. They also have a pretty large retail section.
Okay, makes sense.
And then we just onboarded a pet supplement brand, I believe 3 weeks ago, and we just hit 55% of their revenue.
Jeez.
So we're
you guys are crushing.
We're crushing right now.
Crushing.
We're crushing right now. And it's Jack, like our graphic designer, Shuvo, they all slay out on those. I mean,
it's all about the
kill
team.
It. Yeah. They absolutely kill it on those. I'm planning on selling the agency though in about maybe a month or so once the time's right. One thing about service-based agencies is the valuations are not that great.
Yeah, I was gonna say
so,
probably not.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at like maybe like a 3x EBITDA.
I would think even less, honestly, because I feel like the value of those types of companies
It's literally
is
just
only
the
the
client.
clients.
That's
Exactly.
exactly what it is. So we're trying to be as systemized as possible. And one thing we're trying to do is add SMS before, so we can get our top line like through the roof.
Okay.
One thing that's pretty cool is we have amazing margins.
Right.
They're probably sitting around 90%, like net
Wow.
margins.
Wow.
Our graphic design costs, I think last month was $750.
Wow.
Which is
So you guys are
pretty-
operating super lean.
Yes, very, very lean, and have good systems in place, and it's been running great. We're starting to work on some bigger projects now, which is like really exciting, bigger brands. It was funny when I launched this, it was actually supposed to be for dropshippers, and the first week I think maybe 3 out of like 60 inquiries were dropshipping stores, and I was like, I guess we're for brands.
I'm not too surprised. I feel like dropshipping stores don't care that much about just like getting the most out of their audience,
Yeah.
like having a good customer experience, and like emails obviously plays a role in that.
Yeah.
The bigger brands like care about, they need their lifetime value of customers to be huge.
Exactly.
They need, all that stuff. So it makes sense to me why it would be mostly bigger brands.
But yeah, I'm planning to free up some time after working in like the email space for a while and seeing a lot of it. I think that there's room for a new email marketing SaaS.
I was gonna ask, what's your transition to after this?
Yeah,
So you
it's
do
gonna be-
you
it's
planning
gonna
on
be SaaS
your next
after
move
this.
is tech?
Yeah, my next
Okay.
move's tech.
That's
I
exciting.
have the product almost fully briefed out. Been working on it a good amount.
Nice.
Interviewing potential co-founders recently. Not technical, which
Okay, so looking for a technical co-founder.
Yeah.
Any technical people?
Yeah, hit me up. But I've been really enjoying talks with this guy Michael. He's smart, Oxford degree, did data science at NASA, Andreessen Horowitz after that, founded a company, exited. And so we seem to be getting along pretty well, and he's sort of seeing the same vision. So
with this, like on a high level, I don't want you to obviously disclose too many details.
Yeah.
Would this be roughly a Klaviyo competitor?
It could be, yeah. And it's scary. I mean, Klaviyo just raised, I think, $320 million
Did they
a month ago.
Yeah, wow.
$320 million, and it's like I'm assuming that's to build out their SMS, because I see they're pushing it hard.
Yeah,
but
they
they're
are.
not getting
They
a lot.
are.
I mean, you see.
I mean, all the other SMS companies
Attentive.
Attentive raised 50 mil, PostScript raised 50 mil.
Attentive raised like 600.
Oh, really?
500.
Maybe it was Emotive then.
They're raising just insane
Yeah.
numbers. Privy gets acquired. It's like there's so much money being thrown into this space now, and it's I think it took a while to catch on, and another reason is that honestly, email is like a really boring topic. It just is. It's email marketing. Like no matter
SMS
how
is definitely more
exciting,
exciting.
SMS is definitely more exciting. But I guess like one thing that shocks like people in venture that aren't too familiar with e-commerce is when I tell them like, hey, well, right now our agency makes up, 34, 35, sometimes even 36% of all of our clients' revenue, and they're like of their top line,
Yeah.
and I'm like of their top line,
It's
and
insane.
so it's like holy shit, there's. Because people are wowed at, e-commerce markets approaching a few $1 trillion. So it's like, okay, well, if email's making up 30% of that at least,
It's a chunk.
that's
chunk.
that's insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, I look at our clients right now that, for example, WinPro, we're bringing in 55%. And it's like, if we did SMS for them as well, it's like
60,
I
70.
think we could be responsible for like 70% of their,
That's
their
insane.
top line.
That's awesome.
The hard thing about SMS is it's so new, there's not really experts in it at all.
Interesting.
There's not. I mean, there's people who know the space pretty well, but in terms of like, I mean, do you know anyone that's like, I mean, how even are you like an SMS like expert? Do you just send like a good short text? And I see a lot of brands.
Honestly, I mean, I don't know. I've listened to some like DTC podcasts where people talk about like there's a lot. I mean, there's probably no experts to the level that there are of experts for email.
Yeah.
There's definitely people who know what they're doing more. I mean, like with SMS, like you want to keep it short and sweet. There's
Yeah.
like guidelines and principles to follow. But I could definitely see what you're saying. Like in the world of email, there's so many more experts and
Yeah.
at such a higher level because it's just a marketing channel that's been out there for so long.
Yeah.
Where SMS, it's, obviously text messaging has existed for a while, but like SMS is a big marketing channel for
Yeah.
a DTC brand is like a relatively newer concept.
Yeah. One thing is, I don't know how bullish I am on SMS. 'Cause
Okay.
It feels sometimes like intrusive.
If executed incorrectly.
If executed incorrectly, and I think a lot of brands think that they're being conversational when you just get this text like 50% off now.
Right. That's obviously that's like the
text stop to unsubscribe.
That's like the go-to what not to do.
Yes,
Everyone knows that's obviously invasive and annoying, and you're gonna not do anything great there. But like I've seen some brands do things where, like, for example, a monthly subscription, they'll send you a text that's like, oh, would you like to cancel, change, or skip this month's subscription?
Yeah.
And it'll just be that, and they reply with skip, and then they won't get sent it that month.
It's
Change, they'll get sent a different variant. They can choose the variants right from SMS.
Brands started to like look into that, because I think right now they're just like, if we send text, we make money, so they're not like
actually exploring like how to creatively
And that's the same thing with email. We see people come on, and it's like you look at their past campaigns, all they were doing was blasting their entire newsletter segment with 30% off, 24 hours
they're
only.
Not getting creative.
And it's like, and they're like, it's making money. Like, they make money, but
it could always be better.
A lot better.
Cool. Well, that's very exciting. I mean, it's a great time to get into building apps for Shopify. I don't know if you saw, but as of 2 hours ago, Shopify announced that they are no longer taking 20% of app revenue, which is huge.
What are they taking?
Up to $1 million, there's zero fees at all. And then everything after $1 million, they're now taking 15%, and that resets annually.
Wow.
So I think Shopify is definitely making an effort to be more app developer friendly. They want people to build for the Shopify ecosystem. They want to improve the experience of commerce, and they're willing to sacrifice that 20% that they are making so that people build in the Shopify ecosystem more competitively, build better products, and just make commerce a better experience for their users, which will ultimately gain them more users and make commerce a better experience on the Shopify platform.
Now, do you think any bit of that had to do with the recent Epic Games and Apple clash?
What is it?
Where they're just complaining about like how much revenue Apple is taking.
It's possible.
Apple
takes a lot. I think Shopify has been taking a lot of initiatives to make their whole thing is like to provide the tools to allow people, whether it's app developers, theme developers, merchants, to get creative with commerce. So like by charging 20%, they were turning away some potentially really good developers or entrepreneurs that wanted to build for the Shopify ecosystem but didn't want to pay 20% Shopify.
As an app developer myself, Live Recover was just like a website for the longest time.
Right, but Shopify, like as of December of 2019, changed their policy that you have to build in the Shopify app. Like you have to be on the Shopify app, so Shopify has to take 20%. They just rolled that back a year later now, or however long it is. And now they're saying like, okay, like I think the whole point of this is just so that there's gonna be more competition in the Shopify ecosystem. They want people to build to make the experience for the merchants the best possible, and they realize that like sacrificing that 20% they were making before will make them more in the long run with that.
Okay.
So you're getting into the Shopify apps ecosystem at an amazing time.
Yeah.
So my next question for you, as someone who's like on the front lines of e-commerce, running email campaigns, someone who has a ton of ad experience, just brand experience in general, what would you say like today and like today's current right now are the biggest trends or buzz in the DTC world, things that have been working really well, things that you notice are changing? What do you see is happening like right now?
Hands down, community.
Community. Yeah. So elaborate.
I think head of community was a position that could have been laughed at or even like unknown a few years ago. Now every single brand has a head of community.
So what's the responsibilities of a head of community?
To build out groups and make people feel actually like a part of the brand, which is actually pretty difficult to do.
Because I was gonna say off the top of my head, I can't even think of too many examples of what I would do if I was a brand owner. Maybe like a Discord group or like what are things people are doing?
Yeah, I mean Discord groups, Facebook groups, different things like that where they have maybe they'll throw events, different things like that. I was just with the Republic team, Republic.co. They're doing like democratized angel investing, and it's really cool to see how much focus they're putting into community there. And how like excited their head of community is to just be building all this stuff out. But I think that's something that's huge. Everyone wants to be a part of something, right? Like you, me, we all want to feel like we're a part of something.
Of course.
And brands, although like that might not be your ideal choice, is to be a part of like a brand's community.
No, some people would love to. I mean, I could say just
a lot of people would love to, and a lot of people find people with similarities in there, and they feel cared about, things like that. So
if they're both shopping from the same brand, it's like they have that in common, so they might have more in common.
Mm-hmm. So it's like if you could take your audience and bring them closer together, that's huge. So one of the selling points at REPL is we don't build email lists, we build email communities. So trying to elicit responses, which is like pulling an arm and a leg, right? To get someone to respond to an email is pretty hard.
Yeah.
You can't just be like,
especially
how's
from a brand. Yeah.
Yes, from a brand. I mean, you're already fighting for the open, so it's like you're fighting for the open, and then now it's like, okay, how are you going
and then
to elicit a response?
Yeah.
Yes. So one thing that I'm trying to build out right now is something pretty simple to where right now we have really high opt-ins on our email collection. We handle email collection as well. And in the first email, when they get their discount, because everyone gets a discount in the first email, because you need to give them incentive to enter their email. One thing that I want to do is like, hey, here's the $5 you requested. For $1 extra, respond to this email, and then just have an email auto respond with the $6 coupon code. Because if you're already there, it's going to be a lot easier. And I think that's one way to start it. And I think as long as you can get them to just respond with something, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable responding.
Doing it down the road.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Got it. I think that's really smart. So you could get some like really conversational back-end stuff.
Yeah.
Emails going. You just want to break that ice. That's super valuable right there. You want to break that ice with a little incentive, maybe $1 extra on the discount code.
Yeah.
Then people are a little more comfortable responding to your brand. Then moving forward, you can get creative with how the replies are going to be and what incentives or whatever you want to do with it.
Yep.
Very interesting. Cool. I mean, just from like
that's something. Yeah.
That's definitely something. I mean, I'd agree with your answer for community. I think just from like what I've seen people do with Social Snowball, like some brands, their affiliates it really creates a community. Like people,
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I referred a few people over to Social Snowball,
Yeah.
and what kind of brought that up is people were coming to me saying like, "Hey, I want to build out an affiliate program, but this is really, really confusing."
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Like I don't know how to build it out properly, and I had heard of Social Snowball, and I was like, just try this out. And they're like, holy
Appreciate
shit.
it.
This does everything that my hires would have done, everything.
That's what we're
literally
trying to do,
just clicks and it's like done.
It definitely makes it easier, yeah. But even the community aspect, like the whole, like when you're an affiliate for a brand, like you have a discount code with your name in it. You put that in your bio, like you feel like you're part of that community. A lot of these affiliates make Facebook groups and stuff like that. We've seen like so many cool things like that happen. People love being part of a brand community, and it's so cool that like Social Snowball can empower these brands to build these affiliate programs that the affiliates, aka the customers, win with the brand. So like the brand gets a sale, the affiliate gets paid cash for that sale.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone wins together. Now the affiliate not only shop from that brand, it not only is increasing their lifetime value by likely shopping again, but also referring friends to the brand. That those are sales that you don't have to pay advertising costs to acquire. Mm-hmm. They're also like feeling like they're part of a community. They're getting paid for doing these referrals. They're putting their discount code in their bio. They're posting about it on social media. They're texting their friends about it. It's like a whole community aspect, just kind of like built on autopilot, which is just like a cool thing that we've been able to see as well.
Dude, it's nuts.
Yeah,
it's absolutely. The first time I heard about it, I was like, shit, that's smart. That's pretty damn good. Like I wish when I was slinging products from China myself that I had something like that. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
But I mean, tackling affiliate marketing is definitely like a pretty daunting task, but you have a pretty straight shot way of going about it, which is really, really, really cool.
Appreciate that.
I mean, so far the people that I've sent over are just literally just ranting and raving about it.
Really?
Like they're more happy with me just recommending it. I mean, than anything.
That's sick. That's
sick. Great. But I'd say so far, I guess, what's your favorite part about building it?
About building it?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it's just like, pretty much what you said. Like, it started with as an idea, and like prior to building Social Snowball, the only business I built was like a dropshipping store, which is like not like a real business. I mean, it can be, but like it wasn't really what I was doing. I was just like testing products and stuff. So building Social Snowball, I was like, okay, I have an idea for something that solves a problem. It's a problem that I've dealt with in my own e-commerce experience, and I know other people dealt with it because I talk to them on a daily basis. I was like, if I could actually build this, which is like, tech is way out of my wheelhouse. All I knew how to do is drag and drop on a Shopify theme editor. Like this was super out of my wheelhouse. But I was like, if I could like gather the right team and the right resources and the right people and put this together and it actually solves people's problems, like that would be the coolest feeling ever. And it took like 13 months or 15 months or whatever to launch, and then we launched, and we're constantly iterating and improving and launching new features, but it's actually solving the problem that I dealt with when I ran e-commerce stores and the problems that other people are dealing with, that just affiliate marketing is way too complicated. Whether it's acquiring affiliates, sending payouts, it's like too complicated. This just makes it so simple and easy. A few clicks of a button and you're good to go. So that's been the most fun part for me, just like seeing it actually, like an idea to reality. Yeah. Like that whole process, and like now that it is reality and that we're constantly improving and there's like so much more to go. This is just the beginning. Like that's been like the most fun journey ever.
Okay. I mean, that's yeah, it's definitely super inspirational, especially like I love seeing kids break out of e-commerce and like
Start
like
something new,
not
yeah.
e-commerce, but break out of just like drop shipping, random products and like start something new, whether it be like a web design studio or any service-based agency, and then full-blown SaaS.
Yeah.
Getting into the venture tech scene. So I mean that's it's definitely really cool.
Yeah, I mean, dropshipping is a stepping stone. Like, you could turn it into something huge, and a lot of people do. You did, I did. Like, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna keep you paid for the rest of your life. But it'll get you the connections, the resources, and the capital needed to like actually take that next step and do what you want to do next.
Yeah. I guess like the main reason why I wanted to get out of dropshipping as fast as possible.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted to get in,
Me too.
do something, and get out.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I just couldn't imagine being like, 40-something years old at like my daughter's soccer game, being like, oh, my Facebook ad account's down. Like, I gotta call someone.
No shot.
But yeah, I guess like one thing that shocked me as well was with affiliate marketing with Drophouse, our largest clients and largest inquiries were never from like Facebook ad dropshippers. They were from the affiliate marketing network guys. And I mean, we're talking they can do $500K a day just steady cruising on just random, really, really, really random products.
Yeah, that's insane.
It works.
Yeah, some people know what they're doing.
And it's all like custom landing pages, everything like that. They all work on Connective. None of them use Shopify.
Okay, yeah, Connective,
Like literally not like I remember.
Connective gives you a lot more customization ability.
Yeah, the first time I asked them why they chose Connective over Shopify, they literally just like laughed and they're like,
I mean, yeah, actually, another thing is Shopify. So Shopify Unite was today for reference for people listening. So another thing they announced is the ability to customize like way more things. Like you could do sections anywhere now. Like on product pages, you could do full sections customization. Like these new like element blocks is really cool, and also the ability to fully customize the checkout page with apps or with your own custom coding. So like that's a huge step that Shopify is also taking to like compete with the other platforms.
They're definitely going to. I mean, like they're going to enable more customization because there's some big dogs using Shopify now. I mean, almost like everyone. It's pretty rare to see someone without it. Solid integrations. I mean, like their API works with a bunch of stuff. So.
Definitely. I appreciate having you on. This was a really, really good episode. I really appreciate all the value you brought.
It's great. Yeah.
I'm glad we got to meet. Like I literally met you like 2 days ago, and now you're here. So that's like awesome.
Recently.
There's definitely a lot we could do together.
Yeah. And thank you for like everything you've done for the clients that I've sent over. Like
of course.
They are like, dude, they're printing money.
No, that's insane. I love to hear that. That makes me so happy every time I hear that. So of course, definitely will keep sending them over, and I'll send some clients to you as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you want to get on as a guest, we will give you free merch. I'm using this as an incentive. This is the nicest merch in the tech industry you'll ever see.
Absolutely.
Unless you prove me wrong. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you for episode 4.